Hey everyone, welcome and ahoy to the final pitches of the beapirate challenge. Today we're going to witness the Moonshot Pirates who made it to the finals. Congratulations to the 7 teams. I can see your faces already and I have the feeling you're getting ready for your final pitches. You still have some time left, but you have the opportunity today to win an unforgettable trip to San Francisco. But not only that, you've been through a crazy ride. I know you've been working hard on your ideas and you've had a great support. And today we also have a great support because we have a great jury. But I'm going to tell you in a second who these great minds are here because they're going to have a really close look at your ideas, at your moonshots today. For everyone who's joining, besides the 7 teams who made it to the finals, who are the Moonshot Pirates? Moonshot Pirates is a global education initiative which encourages young minds between 15 and 19 to dream big, follow their own path, and start building what matters. And you're going to witness today what this really means. And by the way, my name is Stephanie, and I'm going to lead you through today's event. And how do we end up at this event? Like, who are the 7 pitches, the 7 teams? We're going to witness in a second, but actually the ones you're going to see today, they were handpicked, or actually they went through a whole voting process, a really difficult voting process because there were 800 participants from 82 countries participating in this journey. And we had 65 moonshots who have been developing during an intense process, including, for example, mentor sessions. We had mentor sessions mentors who joined from all over the world, from Los Angeles to Brisbane, and with a wide range of expertise, for example, innovation and ideation, prototyping, design, brand building, you name it. So what you're going to see today is the result of also a great mentoring. And what's also really important to mention right now, and it's quite crucial, is when we're talking about solving global challenges, all 17 SDGs were tackled. So what you're going to witness today, all the teams are tackling some of the SDGs. And that's really important if we're talking about solving global challenges, because real Moonshot Pirates, they are trying to do that. They're not only talking about it, true Moonshot Pirates, they are trying to solve it and they make it happen. And also when we talk about Moonshot Pirates, we talk about leaders. So all of you, the faces I can see right now, you are all leaders, not future leaders, you're already leaders today. And we're gonna witness today why this is true. And what else are we gonna witness today? We're gonna also witness that these pirates, the pirates we're going to see today, have developed a growth mindset rather than a fixed or a scarcity mindset. They know that failing is part of the success and not the end of it. And being a Moonshot Pirate means to get up, to learn, to keep going, and to change the world. And what's also important to mention at this point, that Moonshot Pirates who dare to learn, understanding of exponential technologies and innovation. So what we're going to witness today is what that means in a practical sense and how you're going to make it happen. So I'm really excited, but before we're going to dive into the pitches, FYI, we're streaming the final pitching event via YouTube and the Moonshot Pirates webpage. It's moonshotpirates.com for you to know, and if anyone else wants to join. And before we're gonna dive into the pitches and get inspired by Pascal, we're gonna come to in a second, I would invite Marco on stage, because Marco is the Moonshot Pirates chief change maker, and he's one of the incredible people behind this global movement of change makers. And Marco, can you hear me, see me? Can we hear you?
Hello, Stephanie. Hi.
Yes. So we're here now. I've been talking a fair bit about what it means to be a Moonshot pirate. And I think that's really important to talk about and be really straightforward about that. What we're going to witness today, these are humans, people who are changing the world already today and who are taking steps towards it. But what I would be interested hearing from you, because you've been through all the process, you've seen all of that. We've talked about the vision, and one thing to mention also with the vision is you want to impact 1 billion young people worldwide by 2030. That's a humongous number. Can you please give us some more insight, like how you want to do that and why?
Well, I very much believe that the why we will discover on the way. But first of all, a huge welcome, a warm welcome to everybody out there at home, on the screens, on YouTube. Welcome to all of our pirates, the finalists, the jury members, all the partners, all the supporters. It's absolutely amazing to have you here. I'm so excited about today. So yeah, let's dive into it. The why behind Moonshot Pirates. I have to tell you, it has a lot to do with our personal experiences. I've been an entrepreneur for quite some time now, and I've seen what is actually possible if you have the right people around you. You know, people who support you, people who challenge you, who give you feedback. Also, people who really believe in you. And this is something that we want to build with Moonshot Pirates. A network, a community, a movement of young people together with mentors and others, where everybody feels empowered and encouraged to change something, to contribute in some way, to change themselves on a personal level, but also to make a difference in our world. And when I also look, you mentioned it in the beginning, we are an educational initiative. There's another aspect, which is, I mean, I'm just about to become a father. And when I already think about the things like, you know, education in the future for my son, I really want to live in a world where young people get empowered when they go to school, where they feel that there are no limits, but rather I can dream big and I can really achieve everything. So I believe we need to change the way young people grow up in our world. And this is our big vision. With Moonshot Pirates, you know, reaching or having an impact, a positive impact on 1 billion young people, or 1 billion people in our world.
Yes, thank you, Marco. I would say we can stop here. Like, no, we're not going to stop here. I actually have a second question, because as some in the group here in the room here know that this year's Be a Pirate Challenge is already the 2nd edition. So your team has been working hard, not only this year, but already the year before. And this year's, I already mentioned it, 800 participants. Wow, crazy number. And 82 countries. We're going to see later, like with the pitches, like we have teams who have really diverse, not only backgrounds, but especially coming from all different parts of the world. And so you're a truly worldwide movement, I would say. And it has been a crazy ride, I guess, this year, an incredible ride. And I would be interested, like, was there a wow moment? Like, it must have been like in between where you sit there and you're just like, wow, is this really happening? Was there a moment where you were like, I wish my son could see this?
Well, I'm sure he will. Well, you have basically already answered the question. It was actually, you know, the thing, the diversity that you addressed. 82 countries, you know, it's just a number. I'm not about numbers, but it makes me anyway very proud, and we're really excited about this whole, you know, global growth and global movement. But what is really beautiful about it is this diversity, the cultural diversity, you know, to work with multiple countries, with participants from multiple countries. But what I've seen and what was then really special to me was the diversity also in terms of ideas and the challenges that they tackled. I've seen that, you know, growing up in a different country means that you are facing different issues, different problems. and then coming up with these creative ideas for solving those problems that I wasn't even aware of. That was for me a true wow moment. And guys, everybody out there, all the pirates participating, I'm so proud of you for everything that you have achieved during the last 3-4 weeks. So you're true pirates.
Wow. I would say I'm excited about hearing the pitches soon then, because you've been already like telling great things about it. And but before we're going to go to the pitches, thank you, Marco. I'm going to like ask you to leave the room at that point, but you're going to anyway be here. You're in the background. Marco is always in the background. And I would like to ask Pascal to join me. Who is Pascal? He's the second pirate who's going to join the stage right now, because we had Marco, and as you can see, he's a true Moonshot pirate himself. And why is Pascal one? Like, in general, you can summarize this human in a way that he's a champion when it comes to creating meaningful change. But not only that, it's not only like a phrase. He has worn many hats, and in nearly 3 decades, he's been in technology space. And one hat Pascal is wearing is, for example, the founder of To Be Radical. Another hat he's wearing is, for example, AI's Wave Space Advisory Board chair, a member of Pearson's Digital Advisory Board, a leader at theheretic.org. As you can see, this guy is doing a lot of stuff, but not only he's doing, he has a lot of great things to say. So we're really honored today to witness Pascal giving us a keynote. And I'm really excited to have you joining the stage. Pascal, are you there?
I am, Stephanie, and thank you so much for the very warm welcome. You also kindly forget to mention that I'm also old. So one of the benefits of getting old is that you get to do a lot of stuff. So here's the thing. We've got about 12 minutes. I know that you're all absolutely burning to see the pitches. So what I want to do is I want to prepare you a little bit for it. And I want to take you on a little bit of a ride, a wild ride into the future. And I want to turn you into what we like to call, you will see this in a second, a practical futurist. So 12 minutes to go. Here's my first question for you. As you're thinking about the future, think about a little bit, what is it you would write into this sentence? The future is blank. What do you put in there? You know, like for my friends here who are on the Zoom call with me on the back end, just throw it into chat. I'm just curious to hear how you define the future. And let me tell you, typically, yes, Dia, the future is ours. Amazing. The future is revolution. So you're getting epic. Jesse says scary. Exactly. So here's the thing. The future is all of the things you're saying, because the way we like to look at the future, and I think this is an important thing to understand, is that the future is what we like to call a paradox. On the one hand, the future is amazing. On the other hand, it's scary, and it's at the same time amazing and scary. But also, if you're thinking about the future, if you want to predict the future, you realize that the future, on one hand, is unwritten. We get to write it every single day. And as Dominika said, it's in everybody's hands. And on the flip side of that, when you look at technology, of course, you can see the early inklings of the future. And that's what we're going to explore today. Another way to think about this is this. If you're standing somewhere here, where the little red dot is, this is your today. Most of us assume there is a future. We like to call this the official future. And, you know, many of you understand that official future probably isn't linear. It is exponential. But still, there is a future. Now, what we have learned in the futurist community for 50 years is that that's actually not quite right. Because there's a widening cone of probable futures surrounded by an even wider cone of possible futures. And it is your role as a leader, and Stephanie said this so eloquently, you're all leaders. It is your role as a leader to identify what are the upper and the lower boundaries of those cones. And then it is your obligation to chart your course through that cone, to define your own future. So there is no official future anymore. The way we like to talk about this, we like to say, kill the official future and embrace the possible futures, plural. So with that being said, let me turn you into what we like to call a practical futurist. A futurist who's taking the future into their own hands, and not in an academic way, but in a truly pirate style, in the way that you actually create the future. And here's everything you need to know about the future summarized in a single slide. And I'm pretty sure you've seen that slide before. The exponential curve. Of course, our future does not happen linearly. The future, which is defined by technology, AI, robotics, synthetic biology, you name it, moves on exponential curves. Now, the good news is I don't need to tell you this anymore. You have seen this before. But I want to point something out. If you're standing where this gentleman stands, and I would argue that in many technologies, that's where we are today, and you look to the past, you realize that the past is flat and linear. And the thing with the past is that it is the only point of reference we have, the only thing we know. Now, if you have the ability to see the future, you realize that the future looks different. It's weird, it's strange. We like to call this a different, a more opportunistic future. And this gentleman here, of course, if you have done your homework in your literary class, you realize this is Ernest Hemingway. Because Ernest Hemingway wrote a book called The Sun Also Rises. And in this book, he has a quote. And we like to use that quote. It's totally out of context, of course. We like to call it the Hemingway law of motion. And it describes our future so well. The short version of the quote is this: gradually and then suddenly. Because the future feels like for a long time, when you look at the technology, nothing happens. And then suddenly out of nowhere, it comes and explodes. Which means that it is incredibly important for us to become really good at reading, at seeing the early parts of that curve. And most of us are not good at it. We like to call this weak signals. Amy Webb wrote a book about this. Another way to think about this is we like to call this, and this goes back to the historian Fernand Braudel, the thin wisps of tomorrow. And as Rob Walker, who's a futurist, once said, there is no shortcut. There is no algorithm. If all you do is track what's trending, then all you ever know is exactly what everyone else already knew. To discover, you have to dig. So I encourage you to become really good at digging. So let's dig a little bit. Let me just show you one example of this crazy future. And when we talk about the future, when we talk about exponentials, we need to talk about computers. It's the mother of all exponential trends, of course. And I will not bore you with this old saying, oh, your smartphone is now so powerful like a supercomputer from the 70s. You heard that story so many times. Let me show you something different. Some of you might have seen this. It made the rounds about 6 months ago. And it's a fascinating insight. At the height of the pandemic last summer, a computer hacker bought this device. This is a digital pregnancy test. And he asked himself a very powerful question. He became curious. And by the way, curiosity is truly the skill of the 21st century. He became curious and looked at this digital pregnancy test and asked himself a simple question. Powerful, but simple. I wonder what's inside of this thing. So he bought one. They cost about $3 in the United States. You can buy them, in the drugstore. He bought one, took it apart. What he found is it's a normal pregnancy test, the one with the 2 lines. There's a little sensor reading those 2 lines. There's a computer chip analyzing the data, powered by a battery, showing you on a display if you're pregnant or not. Now, first of all, you can ask yourself, why would you even do that if it's the same thing ultimately? High stress environment. I don't know if and I hope you never get into like a bad situation. It's a super high stress environment. People get confused if you're pregnant, if it's 1 or 2 lines. So it's kind of nice to have a thing which tells you that you're pregnant or not. Now, our computer hacker didn't stop there because he started digging. He asked himself an interesting question. This device cost $3 retail. So clearly, it's much cheaper to manufacture, right? Because you need to manufacture it, you need to bring it to a distributor, that distributor needs to sell it to a drugstore, etc. So this thing can't be that expensive to manufacture. And he asked himself a powerful question, which is, I wonder how expensive is the chip on this device, the little computer, and how powerful is it? And what he found is that this chip, and I just say this one more time, this is a throwaway device. You use this one time. The chip on this device costs $50 and has the raw compute power of the original IBM PC. The very device which essentially created Microsoft. So now we're living in a world where a $50 US dollar cent device, which you throw away after using it once, has the same power as the computer which gave Microsoft its head start. And of course, because we're computer hackers, we put the computer game Doom on there. So next time you're waiting for pregnancy results, you can play a round of Doom. Now, you might look at this and say, this is funny, and it's crazy how far we have come. But here's where it gets interesting. When you look at the history of computing, computers used to be roomfuls of electronics. They used to be massive mainframe computers. And then they became smaller, and they became so small that you can put them on your desk. And then they became smaller, of course, and you can put them into your backpack. And then they became smaller, and you can put them into your back pocket. And now, as my friend Alan Worth Brock likes to say, they become so small and so cheap and so abundant that they become ambient. And this is fascinating because the moment you get into a world where compute becomes ambient, the world changes one more time. Because every single time we went from one form factor to the next, the world changed dramatically. The companies which dominated this world changed. Way back, mainframe computers dominated by IBM. PCs, of course, dominated by Microsoft. Your handheld devices, your phones, dominated by Apple and Google. And now we're moving into a world which I guarantee you will not be dominated by Apple and Google anymore. There's a whole new playing ground coming up for us. So if you're starting a company, there's an opportunity. And society changes. Mainframes could only be used by big companies. They were so big and expensive. PCs were used by all companies. The web was used by the middle classes. The smartphone, of course, is used by everyone all around the world. And now we are living in a world where compute has become a systematically important part of fabric and part of the fabric of society. The world changes. And that is the reason why I want you to walk through the world with open eyes and keep your eyes peeled to the stuff which makes you say, isn't that interesting? And when you look for weak signals, the early indicators of change, of course, as a pirate, you now see them everywhere. You know, anything from augmented virtual reality, AI, of course, the blockchain, like the stuff we're doing with space technology, genetics, the sheer fact that we have a vaccine to a global pandemic less than a year after the pandemic breaks out is just marvelous. 3D printing, you name it. So the question then becomes, how do you become the world's best signal spotter? And it's essentially 5 things you want to do. And this is what I encourage you to do. Build this into your routine. There's something we like to call the act of active noticing. Being able to just see these things, see a pregnancy test and ask yourself, well, isn't that interesting? Look for the peculiar behaviors. Look for people doing stuff out of the extraordinary. That allows you to see. Isn't that interesting? Becomes your best friend. Once you're doing this, you want to stay with the flow. You want to revisit these stimuli. You want to keep digging. Once you start digging, you want to keep your curiosity. You want to seek out weak signals all the time, not just like find one and then be done with it. And lastly, the 2 important factors here is that you want to have strong insights. You want to have beliefs, but you also want them to have them weakly held, meaning you alter them when you get new data. So don't be dogmatic. And lastly, this is important. Keep a distance. Maintain a level of objectivity because it's very easy to get sucked into the vortex of exponentially accelerating technologies and be a little too early. So 5 factors which I think are really important for you as a futurist. And then once you see these signals, measure them according to these 5 signal indicators. Frequency. How often do you see a signal? Is it just once or do you see it over and over again? Strength. Is it coming from a reputable source, let's say a researcher, or does it come from like a random dude's tweet? Directionality, is it building on top of each other? So are these signals building and creating a bigger narrative? Maturity, how mature is the underlying technology? Is this in the lab? Is it in research? Is it probably being used? And lastly, spread. Do you see the signal spreading from one industry or sector into other industries and sectors? And of course, lots of the pitches we're seeing today fit beautifully into this framework because you can now start mapping those out. Now, my friends, here's the important thing. The future is unwritten. It is on you to create the future every single day. It is beautiful, but it's also an obligation because if you don't write the future will happen to you. And that's a very, very bad position to be in. So go out, hiss the pirate flag, and create the future you want. With that being said, Stephanie, let me bring you back and see if we've got some questions.
That was amazing. Thank you so much, Pascal, for telling us how to be, or showing us how to be a practical futurist. Great insights. Because we're heading towards the pitches and we're going to run late if we're not going to speed up. But I have one question, because you mentioned you've been around for a long time. So I would call you kind of a senior Moonshot pirate, if you would like that. We can give you that hat if you want to. A personal question, because you gave us a great insight in like a lot like where the future is going to go, tech, a lot of like terms, I think, which will be important for the work for the Moonshot Pirates. But is, as a senior Moonshot Pirate, if you go back to your 15-year-old self, to your 15-year-old Moonshot Pirate, is there one personal advice you would give your 15-year-old Moonshot Pirate?
It's a good question. I think the most important thing, quite frankly, the most important thing I can tell you is that there's a saying, which is action leads to insight more often than insight leads to action. Meaning you have to go out there, you have to do these things, because when you do them, you learn. And if you just sit back and ponder and think about, very often you don't actually learn all that much. So my encouragement for you is, as a true pirate, get on your barge, get on your ship, hiss the flag, and go out there. You can't sit on shore and just wait and ponder what you could possibly do. So truly, my 15-year-old self, like, go out there, just try things out. If it doesn't kill you, it's totally fine to do it. Just take the risks.
That was, thank you so much for this personal insight. And I think that was a great bridge to like the pitches, because that's exactly what we're doing here and what the pirates are showing us. It's about doing. And we're going to see right now what they are planning to do and what they're doing already. So thanks again, Pascal, for the great insight and for joining us all the way from the US to be with us today. And I'm going to send you now to put your jury hat back on and see you then later. Thanks so much. And right now, I'm going to go in towards the pitches. We're going to sail towards them. What does that mean for you, everyone in the room? 3 minutes pitch, 3 minutes Q&A. I'm going to time. So I'm going to take a look at the time. I'm going to be the timekeeper. If you're going to last longer than 3 minutes, I'm going to interrupt you. Sorry, but not sorry. So it's really important that you stay in your time. Who's the jury? We've already introduced Pascal, but there are also other great people in the room. We, for example, have Dennis. Dennis has been active in the European startup scene as an investor, angel investor, and founder for over 10 years. And he's the co-founder of several companies, including a successful exit to a Fortune 50. And oh yeah, Dennis, we have you I can see you right now. In the past 5 years, he's been supporting young entrepreneurs as a mentor in product development and fundraising at tech startups, Google and Google Launchpad and others. So that's Dennis. Sarah is the third jury member. She's a global advocate for equal rights and equal chances and the founder of How to Be Global. And she's also the senior manager of alumni and marketing campaigns of Junior Achievement Worldwide. That's one of the world's most impactful entrepreneurship NGOs for everyone in the room. And yeah, she's a problem solver, creative brain, and a coffee lover. That's what she likes to also mention. And then last but not least, we've got Julia with us, and she's the Global Director of Talent Garden Innovation School. And she's in charge of sales strategy and execution, orientation and admission, product design, and career development. So you can see she has a lot of hats, and she was previously the director of Talent Garden Innovation School in Italy. And back in the days, she worked at Fiat Chrysler Automobiles. but now she's with us, coming from all the way from Italy. So as you can see, and I think like Dennis is in London, Sarah she's in Vienna right now, Julia, Italy. So we're happy to have you here. Thanks for joining. So now you know who is the jury, but what is the jury gonna do besides witnessing your amazing pitches in a second? And they're gonna rate your pitches, because they are gonna decide who is going to Silicon Valley. And what are the criteria? The criteria, Julia, do you want to say something? I can see your face and your mouth moving. No. Okay, we're gonna, what are the criteria? The criteria are impact, radicality, visibility, and wow effect. What does that mean? Impact, because Moonshot parts are change makers, and thus the project should also be change making and have a real impact. Pretty clear? So the jury is going to look at how big of an effect it has on people, society, environment, and how the idea will be implemented. That's impact. Radicality. How radical are your projects? Is your team thinking about implementation of the idea on a local and global scale? So we're going to look onto the radical level as well. Feasibility. Although we go for moonshot quality and radicality, the project should still be realistic and possible to be executed. That's quite clear, because we not only want you to have the idea, a radical idea, we also want you to execute. For example, would it take to turn an idea into a real life solution, financially, technically, knowledge-wise? So that's visibility. And the wow effect is number 4. And that's a simple question. Does your solution, your moonshot, put a smile on the face of your customer? That's the wow effect. This is about the one special little thing that makes a difference. So I'm curious how the jury is going to decide in the end, but for you, important that you know these are the 4 criteria the jury is going to evaluate the 7 finalists and pick the best one. And I've mentioned it before, the winner. The winner is going to go to Silicon Valley on a trip in December, visiting startups and established companies in the south of San Francisco. And we're going to talk about what exactly you're going to do there in a late stage. Right now, you're going to experience the way of life and work in the Silicon Valley. You're going to have fun. You're going to gain knowledge. You're going to have a great networking opportunity, the opportunity to pitch, and so on. And it's powered by the Silicon Valley Inspiration Tours and EXO-1. Wow, I think that was the information you need so we can get started. I hope there are no more question marks. I can see the curious face of the jury already. I can see Julia, Pascal, Dennis. Yeah, they're all nodding. They're ready. And also the teams, they're in like rooms right now waiting to enter the pitch arena. So, and the first team who's actually going to join us today is Hey B. They're going to be with us in a second. And the crew, it's Christian, Alexander, Nevena, Asker, and Martin, believe that they can change the world one bee home at a time. Why and how, we're going to find out now. So please, the stage is yours. Yes. Enjoy.
Hey there. Let me start off with a question. Who is our most important food supplier? Now, you're probably going to say it's the supermarkets or the farmers, but you're wrong. It's someone a lot smaller. Our bees. Did you know that 75% of the world's most important food crops depend on bee pollination? Yeah, that's right. Bees don't just make honey. They also pollinate our most important food crops. They also have a huge impact on our economy. Bees are responsible for more than 15 billion euros worth of agriculture annually in Europe. But the numbers of bees have been drastically decreasing in the past few years. Not just honeybees, but especially wild bees. With cities growing, the area where the bees can live is rapidly disappearing. If this continues, the food system could collapse. Now, what can we do about that, Chris?
This is where HeyBee comes in. We provide you with 3D printed bee homes so you can easily set up at your garden, on your rooftop, or on your balcony. And the best thing is, they're of course eco-friendly, as they're made from biodegradable materials, which are super easy to clean also. With HeyBee, anyone can have bees and most importantly, save them. We focus on two target groups. On one hand, we've got our private consumers. The purchasing process for them is very simple. You start off by ordering your favorite bee design from our website, similar to the one you see on the screen. Then we send a 3D file to a public 3D printer near you, and you can pick it up as soon as it's done. We can also deliver it to your home if you prefer that. Along with it, you'll receive a step-by-step guide, which is going to guide you all the way from setting up your bee home to which flowers you should put to receiving your first bee guest at your home. And after that, all you have to do is just clean it once a year, and it's as simple as that. You see, it's super easy for anyone to have bees. And our second target groups are actually companies. We provide them with specially designed bee homes that have their logo on them. This way, we are the perfect partner for any business that wants to advertise while making a very, very positive impact in their own community. And so what are our next steps, Oscar?
That's a great question, Chris. After we've finalized our designs, we'll reach out to customers and businesses to get feedback. After that, we'll get in talks with 3D printing companies to work with. In Q1 2022, we'll kick off in 2 cities, Stockholm and Vienna. And when we've established the business in Q3 2022, we'll start scaling internationally. Our vision is that every garden, every balcony, and every rooftop will have a bee home, giving bees a place to live while also connecting people back to nature. Together, we can change the world, one bee home at a time. We'd love to see you as a part of our journey. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Yes, in time. You have 10 seconds left. Is there anything you want to say? 7 seconds.
It's amazing to be here.
Yes, that's the perfect answer, because we want Moonshot Parts who also have fun with what they're doing. So thanks for giving us an insight in your great idea. And I'm curious right now what the judges want to know and what questions they have, because they're going to have 3 minutes to do so. And I can see the rest of your team is also here. So you can decide who's going to answer. Please, judges, let's go. Q&A. Other questions?
Well, maybe I'll jump in then. Hi, this is Dennis. So what I'm curious about is, obviously, we know how important, thanks to your presentation, how important bees are. Now, a lot of people are scared of bees. How are you sort of going to go against that, of getting people aware of that bees aren't as scary as they might think they are?
Yes, hello, here's Nevena from HeyBee. Thank you for your question. Actually, that was something we were thinking about, but we talked to a bee expert, and many sources say that wild bees are actually less aggressive than honeybees. So also their venom isn't as poisonous, and you can even have a wild bee on your hand and it won't sting you because they are much friendlier than honeybees.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Hi, Julia. Yeah, Julia here. It's clear your B2B target is not that clear for me, the B2C target. Could you elaborate a little bit more who it's going to be your final customer?
Yes, so we will want to target businesses that want to make a positive impact in the world and want to show that also to their environment. So what we would do is we would connect with different businesses, show them our project, and then they can purchase personally designed bee homes from us with their logo on the home, as you can see on the slide. And then we will discuss what services they want. This will, of course, also have some impact on the price. And for example, you can set it up at a public community where people will see it. They will see that this company is doing an impact, and they will also see some bees. Of course, you can also set it up at your own company, which will also connect your employees together, because they might take care about the home together, and that will also make a connection between the employees.
Thank you.
Please. I heard someone ask a question. You have 1 more minute.
Let me jump in here. I'm curious, what is the benefit of 3D printing this versus just using, beehive technology, which has been around for, what, millennia?
That's a great question. But because we actually use 3D printing, we only, like, when people order, we print on demand. So we don't have any excessive stock on hand. And we use biodegradable material. So, and it lasts a lot longer than our competitors. Even though we cost about 15% more than the average competitor we have, our bee homes will last a lot longer, because the only competitors we actually have, they made them out of wood. But we've talked with bee experts, and they say that we can also do it with our biodegradable material.
Let me also add to that we're targeting especially people in urban areas, and those people are more into 3D printing, and it can be more attractive to them to set up something that is 3D printed. And also the 3D printing market is growing exponentially, and we will take part of that. And as Asker mentioned, and also Chris, it's easier to clean, so it's less probable that there will be fungus or something.
Thank you, the judges, for the great questions. And hey, Bee, you did it. Congratulations to the pitch, and giving a great insight also through the Q&A. You can take your time now, lean back and witness the other pitches. And we're gonna continue to the second round, to the second crew. They will join us from quite some countries: Netherlands, Poland, India, Canada, and the US. And this crew has found an unorthodox way to ensure durable and sustainable housing while refining our environment for the future. Sounds quite exciting. Let's see what exactly you're planning to do. You have 3 minutes, like the other teams. Are you here? Are you ready? If you're ready, this is yours.
Apologies, your voice was cutting off a little bit. Would you please repeat?
I said the stage is yours.
Yes, I think we're all here, so
yes.
Yes.
Okay. So we are Soapwork, and we have an idea to revolutionize infrastructure. Right now in India, there are 5.4 million tons of plastic waste produced every single year. And there are over 60,000 Indians coming out of poverty every single day. So how can we combine these two seemingly unrelated phenomena together to create a more sustainable future? This introducing Soapwork. Soapwork is made out of 37% clay and sand and 63% plastic and aluminum, which we can get for free by the Delhi government's Kabadiwala waste management system. This, in turn, allows us to use our innovative interlocking system that significantly reduces the amount of cement required compared to a regular brick. Now, you still might be wondering, why Soapwork? Well, for one, our bricks are cheaper, since all of the material are provided to us for free. They are more durable due to the diversity in plastics and the aluminum encasing. We're helping decrease carbon levels, since we're not manufacturing anything, we're just compiling the different resources given to us. It is sustainable, since all of the materials can be reused, and we're helping lift the underprivileged class of Indians who are going from poverty to the middle class by building them homes, and we're helping rebuild the Indian economy, something which has been struck particularly hard by the COVID-19 pandemic.
we are the international team from 5 different countries. We can also say that from 9, gathered together in one place, a virtual place, and also in one mission to revolutionize our future, beginning with the most basic material. Based on our calculation, the estimated cost for saw brick will be 45 cents per brick in the first year, with the potential to decrease in the following 5 years. While the cost estimate for normal brick ranges from $1.50 to $2. We also expect our revenue in the first year of production to be around $1 million. During the recent months, we reached out to multiple organizations, hoping to get their support and potential initial investment in our startup. We contacted the Indian manufacturer with 20-year experience in the industry that decided to support us with $35,000 and also give us all the available resources he has to help us kickstart our production. Also, we managed to gain a corporate partnership with Columbus Energy, the biggest solar energy provider in Poland, who also decided to support our project. And what's more, the aforementioned Kabadivala waste management system expressed their interest in redirecting their plastic waste from landfills to our factories. Will you help us to change the life of millions, start with the bricks? That's all. Thank you.
Perfect. That was a great roundup. Thanks so much for your pitch. The So Brick crew is in the room, and also the jury is also still in the room, and I guess has some questions. 3 minutes from now, please.
Hi, this is Sarah. Thank you so much for the great presentation. I'm very excited to see that you're coming from all the different places. And that is also my question on how did you specifically come up with this challenge in India? I could see some Indian flags, on your pictures, but would love for you to quickly explain us like how you landed on exactly this area and like this idea.
Yeah, I can answer that question actually. So right now I just moved to Geneva, but I was living in India actually for 4 years I lived there. So what I saw when living in India was there was so much trash everywhere, even in the nature reserves. People, the government really does not have any good incentives to really reduce the trash and carbon emissions from India as of now. So we thought, what can we do to really help Indian people who are in poverty right now and building their way up to the middle class and create a more sustainable environment for India. So we thought of this soap brick, which has an interlocking system, which would potentially be more advantageous than a regular brick.
Some more questions? You still have 2 minutes.
Hey, this is Pascal. I have the benefit of my father being a structural engineer and running a company in that space. 2 questions. First of all, do you have any data on the durability of your brick? As in, if you build buildings out of those, how does it fare to like a cement brick, a classic brick, etc.? The second one is the interlocking system, the Lego brick idea. Has been tried before. The challenge with that is typically manufacturing, because you add a lot of complexity to your manufacturing versus a normal brick, which is, you've seen this in India. They make them literally like on the street using just forms.
Well, we have talked to a manufacturer with 20 years of experience, and he has, he thinks it's a good idea. So we're not just based on our own research, but based on someone who has been in the industry for 20 years and has all of the available equipment to manufacture the bricks, we think that this idea is very feasible. In terms of how long a brick would last, we would say it's very comparable to a normal brick, if not more. We have also taken into account the airability of the room. Some issues were concerned about it being made out of plastic and air would not be able to flow through. This is why we included 37% of clay and sand, so air can flow through the brick.
We have time for one more question, a short one. Is there a question?
Well, maybe to sort of add to Pascal's question, when it comes to actually manufacturing them on the street, how would you make it feasible for the local community to actually build the bricks themselves? Or is that an idea, or like how is it actually going to be manufactured on the spot?
Quick answer.
And anyone else wants to answer? I can answer the question.
So our idea is to start our company, to start doing those bricks. But when other companies in India start to learn how to do them, we basically want to leave it for them. So we want to make it mostly about the social impact. So we want to make it in India and also leave it for Indian people to basically connect the powers, the strengths to rebuild the economy together. So we will also, we were actually talking about it, to implement some programs to teach the local manufacturers to do the bricks the same way as we do.
Thank you, Team SoBrick and the jury for the great questions. Enjoy SoBrick. You are done for now, only for now. We're going to see you later when all the pitches are done. And I would ask now Luminous team, it's a social enterprise from Bangladesh, to join us. And the crew aims to build, give me a second. So this, this crew aims to build a new ecosystem to introduce teenagers to corporate environments and self-discovery. How they're gonna do it and why, they're gonna tell us now. You have 3 minutes. Are you ready? If you're ready,
yes, we are.
Oh, that's great. Moonshot pirates are always ready. Let's go.
Children should work on their dreams, not on fields. I know you all get up every morning, read on the news, stumble upon some headlines concerning child labor and think to yourself, what did these kids do to deserve this? But I'm sure what you don't see are the stories of those young people who had to give up their passions at a young age and take up hazardous jobs in hostile environments. Their lives would be different only if they could turn their passion into a source of income for themselves. Consider this. What if teens could overcome their financial and social limitations and fully flourish their latent talent while earning much needed money? In the South Asian region, social boundaries influence teenagers greatly. They are not allowed to work at all. It is considered a disgrace to the family. Those who lose their parents have to engage in child labor due to lack of opportunities. These issues also give rise to mental health problems. Luminous Teen is a platform that ensures peer-to-peer teenager freelancing marketplace where teenagers can display talent and get training to sharpen their skills for professional use. Our main goal is establishing a teenager freelancing platform where teenagers with passion and talent for a sector will be given required consultation, proper training, and networking opportunities. We intend to popularize the idea of teen employment. We intend to work on mental health issues and have some impact on teenagers from lower socioeconomic status through microgrants.
We'll establish a platform for teenagers where they can get connected with a market that need their services like digital art, graphics design, and technology. 30% of all transactions done via our platform will be kept by Luminous Teen, and this will be our main source of revenue. After starting revenue generation, we will implement our hybrid model. With the introduction of the B2B model, we will start developing our own products. Initially, planned services and products include a drone management team, women's safety kit, responsive tracker, and artistic merchandise based on social demands. Due to the pandemic, freelancing is at an all-time high, and we intend to capitalize on this. We estimate the market value in Bangladesh only to be 248 million USD. We intend to capture at least 14 million USD of it. We can see that there are 340 million potential contributors to our platform just in the South Asian region. We plan to create a very tight feedback loop so we can bring in more and more aspirants, generate greater revenues, and consequently reach out to more teenagers. We expect to include 600 teenagers in our platform by the first year and start revenue generation. Then we will start our B2B model. After we get to a strong spot fiscally, we will start giving out microgrants to teenagers. We'll also work with mental health experts to help teenagers who are suffering from mental health problems. Why are we confident about our project? In this year, we interviewed 163 teenagers, and more than 94% of them said they are interested to work on our project. Why are we doing this? We are a team of people who believe that teenagers should be allowed to live a life free from oppression. We just need that one little push to start impacting someone's life. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the presentation, and thanks for that you also had a timer running, so that was a great alarm in the background. We're gonna go right to the questions from the judges. Please tell us what you want to know. Anyone? Dennis?
I can go first.
Go ahead, Dennis.
Oh, okay, thank you. So thank you very much for the presentation. I mean, something that sort of I'm curious about is the actual infrastructure on the ground again. So you're talking about freelancing, doing design jobs and all these kind of things. How much access do these teenagers actually have to the necessary IT infrastructure, etc., already to be able to use your platform?
So what you're talking about is the access to IT, so that they can perform in freelance, right? So a lot of the population in our country already have access to IT, though already have access to IT, and they are talented. We know how in our friend circle there are a lot of talented teenagers who can do graphics design, who can photograph, who are talented. We know them personally, and they are only not financially independent just because there's a lack of platform, and we intend to capitalize on that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, also you can see that there is an increase in skill enhancement opportunities like Udemy, EDX, or Coursera, and teenagers here in Bangladesh are using them as much as they can. So yeah, you can be hopeful about it.
Hey, this is Sarah. I have a question. I love your idea and well done to the presentation. My question is, there are so many code platforms out there. So this is yet another platform, right? Not to make it sound that it's not a great idea, but obviously the market is very, very packed. So how is your strategy to get the teenagers in? Might not be the challenge, but to push it out there and get the people to use your platform from the other side, not the freelancers. So we'd love to get to know a bit more from that point.
Well, that's a part of our value proposition, because we want to give teenagers that competitive advantage they are gonna get in our platform. So in typical or available platforms, they are not getting any extra advantage because there are already different professionals working there. And also financial inclusion is a huge factor in Bangladesh, and they don't have access to banking systems or the transaction of fees while they are working for international clients. And this applies to all least developed countries, and even some developed countries of a better socioeconomic condition. So we are just going to solve this issue, and our entire system is AI based and personalized. So we are just trying to do exactly that someone is in need of, and yeah, that can be a big difference.
Thank you so much for answering the questions. Team Luminous Teen, you can hear the timer. Now you had your pitch, great job, and great answers to it in the Q&A. We're gonna move on, and we're gonna see you later. Thanks so much. And we're gonna move on to Melinda, Willem, and Caleb, Diona, and Erblin. We're going to dive into the medical field with them. And this crew is building a professional social network, and it's called MedNet. And for whom they're building it and why, they're hoping to be able to move beyond barriers and borders. They will tell us within the next 3 minutes. Are you in, team?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Great, because the stage is yours and you have 3 minutes. Let's go.
Good day, everyone. We are Team MedNet. a startup project existing with the sole purpose of creating a sustainable cycle of innovation and betterment in healthcare by focusing not on diseases and profit, but on people. To introduce the team, yours truly is Caleb, and these are my teammates, Willem, Diona, Melinda, and Erblin. Currently, healthcare is a massive industry which has lost its own purpose. Today, the development of drugs and other medications are blind to the needs of the people. Through endless variations of the same medication, companies have been neglecting the most important part of medicine. Access to the newest technology has been limited as well, which causes more and more patients to unnecessarily suffer and pay hefty fees to extend their life, only to succumb to their illnesses a few years later. Therefore, we propose a solution by introducing a blockchain-based social network platform that will be able to create an unhackable database and network while connecting the ideas and the mind power of patients, doctors, and researchers all in one. In the platform, there will be a chance for patients to interact with doctors and researchers from all around the world. By placing the fields of medicine that they are most interested in, our platform will be able to filter out all the necessary details and allow for a personalized page of different doctors or medical researchers, giving them a chance to give their personal input into their fields of concern. To ensure data privacy, one-time passwords and other verification systems will be put in place to respect the rights of the users, and waivers will be implemented and given should these cases arise. With this, our platform will be able to allow patients to have influence on medical projects from the get-go, making our platform more patient-centered. In terms of the sustainability and feasibility of our product, we hope to first be able to create sustainable scientific growth by connecting with medical researchers, doctors, and Ministry of Health offices from around the world. This will lead us to sustainable business growth by supporting projects and promoting their purpose and needs in exchange for a partial profit. Moreover, advertisements and the promotion of products are also ways to gain extra revenue for our startup. As such, we will then be able to create a platform that is extremely easy and convenient to use for people of all nations, which would allow patients to contact and freely use the platform. In the future, we hope to continue to expand in patient care and stay true to our vision and purpose for our users to trust our platform. Judges, it is a dream of ours that we come together as one people to help mitigate and solve these problems. Hopefully, this could be a start of a revolution that everyone would come together and solve every single medical problem out there in the world. Therefore, we could do our part in improving medical care for all humans across the world and crack the medical code. Thank you, and we'll be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you, Team MedNet. That was a great pitch. And you said already you're happy to answer questions. So let's switch to the judges. I think they're happy to ask questions. Julia, I can see already.
Yes, thanks for the pitch. I have a curiosity. When it comes to healthcare, there is a lot of trust between the patient and doctor. I'm wondering, how do you plan to build that?
Well, I think it's primarily just making sure that their data is kept private. I think that's one of the most important things into medicine, right? There's something that's called patient-doctor confidentiality, and we think we have to uphold that in our platform. And we can do this by creating protective layers in our platform. Like what I said a while ago, we can create verification systems or one-time passwords to help protect the patients and help protect the patient's data from being leaked out. So yeah.
Any more questions? We still have some time left.
Let me quickly jump in here. In which country or countries are you intending to do this? Because if you look at the US, you will have to deal with things like HIPAA compliance, which is a freaking nightmare, as well as you will have a massively entrenched system in the US in terms of healthcare and healthcare providers and where the data sits and who owns the data, so much so that even Apple can't seem to crack this. So I'm curious, are you going for countries where that isn't as much of a problem, or what's your approach?
Hello, Willem here from MedNet. So first of all, we're focusing on Eurasia, but we're trying to create a global platform. So in some time, we will find a way to overcome these difficulties to reach out to the American market.
Okay, quick answer. Is there quick questions still from the jury?
A quick one from my side. This is Sarah. Well done with your presentation. just like in 1 or 2 sentences, why did you choose the medical sector? I mean, you had the opportunity to do pretty much anything.
Medicine is something that people of all social classes have to deal with. No matter how rich or poor you may be, we all get sick. And I think it's essential to have this type of platform to be able, so that everyone can basically access it, no matter, and give a chance to, especially from people from developing countries, to have to see the latest technology and implement it in their communities or in society. So,
that was
also, I was really inspired by my friend because she had a cancer in her, like on her nerves, and she was basically by her doctor sentenced to death. He said basically, yeah, we can do anything to help you. And then she basically, her parents tried to go all around the globe finding some special like doctors to help her, and then just one simple like family doctor, so not any special doctor. He basically said, okay, so maybe we can do a operation, but not on her nerves directly, but on the bones behind her nerves, and it was successful. And that's the moment that I basically figured out that there is so much things that we can do in medicine that are currently not being implemented if we just like come together and figure out some new approaches to diseases and to patients themselves. That's why we believe in patient-centered healthcare.
Wow, thank you for giving us pretty personal insight. And great job, crew. You are ready now to lean back, and we're gonna move on to the next team. Thanks for joining us here. Great.
Thank you so much.
Job.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So after Team MedNet, we're going to move on into the field of aircraft technologies, artificial intelligence, autonomous vehicles, and robotics. So you can see there are a lot of buzzwords going on. What does this mean? 3 Moonshot pirates from the US and Canada joined forces, and they're trying to fight wildfires. One of them has a really personal reason to do so. So let's get Jess, Suliana, and Valkyrie to the stage. Are you here with us?
Yes, we are here.
Awesome. Great to have you here. Enjoy the ride. You have 3 minutes, and we're curious what you're going to tell us. Let's go.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We're Team Firefly. My name is Jessie, and these are my teammates, Valkyrie and Soliana. Every year, thousands of civil service workers, like my dad, risk their lives fighting wildfires, or they have to help manage. This is a photo taken from the 2020 California wildfires, a time when many people felt like it was the end of the world, and for good reason. 4.2 million acres of land were burnt, 10.5 thousand structures destroyed, and $12 billion worth of damages were incurred from this wildfire alone. Not to mention, the estimated cost of long-term health costs related to wildfire exposure is $450 billion in the US from 2008 to 2012 alone. This doesn't even take into account the environmental impacts of wildfires. The Australian bushfires of 2020 released 830 million tons of CO2 into the atmosphere. We talked to a leading expert in the industry who told us that the firefighting industry is 20 years behind any other industry when it comes to the tools and technology being used. In other words, the way we fight wildfires hasn't changed for 20 years, despite both the frequency and intensity of wildfires doubling in that same time. Our solution is autonomization. We envision drones containing the fires, while planes would actually put the fires out in more traditional methods. So you're probably wondering, how and why would drones be used to contain the fires? Well, this is the status quo. Yeah, firefighters literally have to go in with chainsaws or bulldozers and hack away at the shrub to prevent fires from spreading. But what if we could contain fires with sound? Yeah, sound. We can with vortex cannons. This is a basic setup of a vortex cannon. As you see, the subwoofer, when it oscillates on the left, it changes the pressure within the collimator and pushes a fast-moving ball of air out of the baffle, which as it travels, curls back in on itself to create a vortex ring. And as you'll see, once the vortex ring reaches the base of a fire, It pushes and pulls the fire plasma off its fuel base and extinguishes it. So this isn't science fiction. This is already being done, and we've actually partnered with a company that's helping us make this happen. This is a 3D mock-up of what a drone could look like. As you can see, the vortex cannon is located on the underside of the drone, and it's attached at a 45-degree angle to ensure that there's no interference from the rotating downdraft created by the rotors on the drone. Here we have a rough economic outline. We talked to the company we're partnered with, and we estimate we need around $1 million a year for 3 years in order for sufficient research, development, and testing to be done at a site in New Mexico. With our solution, we can close the 20-year gap in firefighting technology, enabling fires to be stopped in a much more safe, effective, and sustainable way, preventing billions of tons of CO2 from entering the atmosphere, saving billions of dollars, and allowing civil service workers like my dad to stay safe at home. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessie, and the team for the great presentation and idea. Let's see what the judges have to say, what kind of questions they have. Please tell us, what do you want to know? Is there anyone in the, yeah, Dennis.
I'll jump in again. So what I was wondering, so what you're doing is you're basically pushing air sort of towards, or sound waves towards the fire. Does that kind of sort of push away the drone, and what's the autonomy behind it and the impact of the autonomy of that machine, of that part to the drone?
The actual drone, oh, sorry. The actual drone itself, it has an equilibrium factor built into it. So when it does push air out of the actual vortex cannon, and because of the angle it's projected at, it doesn't really interfere with the drone all that much. And in terms of actually containing the wildfire, it can be really close to the wildfire and it fights it linearly. So let's say we had 100 feet of fires in front of us. Each drone can take up around 20-25 feet. So they would all be fighting them on a linear path.
Okay, and in regards to sort of the actual energy consumption, like how long can that drone stay in the air with all that power needed for the blaster as well?
So right now, the company that we're working with, the drones, they have a petroleum-based system where the drones can stay up in the air for over 3 hours without not needing any kind of charge. And one of the biggest facets of our solution is the fact that if we have everything fully autonomized, we can be able to fight fires at night from the air, which currently that's not being done because it's dangerous for pilots and they can't be in the same airspace as drones. So by putting them all in the same AI mapping system, it would allow them to fight fires when they're at their lowest at night.
Pascal, I think you unmuted before.
I'm curious. I've got so many questions. This is really fascinating. One quick one. What is the radius of impact? So when you shoot out of your cannon, how much actual area, surface area, can you cover? And then the second one is, so I've been affected by wildfires. I lived in California. I live in Colorado now. So we've seen wildfires. I've literally had wildfires a couple miles away from me. How do you prevent spread? So it's one thing to push the fire out, but then given what the dry tinder situation is, like it spreads super quickly again, which is the reason why they put, of course, fire retardant typically when they fly planes, they put fire retardant on there.
So in terms of how much area we're actually extinguishing, because our drones are linear, they extinguish everything within a linear path of around 144 square feet. So they have a pretty good range of how they actually extinguish. And then in terms of actually containing the fires, that's the basic part of the drone. So with all of it being on an AI system, the drones are the ones that actually push the air to break that fire triangle and stop it from spreading. And then the water jets would come and fight them with more traditional methods. So it all kind of works interconnectedly.
So you can kind of think of it, the drones themselves aren't so much fighting the fire as they're actually the ones containing it. So they're kind of, you can imagine it as sort of like a wall of sound, if you will.
Thank you for answering all the questions. 3 minutes are over. It's there are a lot more questions, but thank you so much for the great presentation, team, crew, Firefly. Your time is over. You did a great job, and see you later back in the room.
Thank you.
And we're going to continue now. Oh, they already joined the room, Team Braille Brains. And the Moonshot Pirates in this team have a solution to support or actually solve a problem for 15 million people. And let's find out who are these people, these humans, and what is their solution. So please, Team Braille Brains, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Let's start. Hello, we are Braille Brains, here to unleash the power of deafblind superhumans. Let's start by imagine a morning you wake up from your bed and you realize that you lost your vision and your hearing capacity. You can't hear anything except feeling your heartbeat, and you can't see anything except this pitch darkness. Isn't it like a nightmare? But guess what? There are about 15.8 million people in this world who are deafblind, and also impacted about 150 million people, being their friends and their family. We all know Helen Keller and how hard she struggled to communicate and get education. The tactile sign language and the Loman language are pretty hard for the non-disabled people to understand. A solution to this problem gave us an aha moment, and it is the idea and our purpose behind the Braille Brains. Our purpose is to create a way for the deafblind people to communicate, socialize, and give quality education by using the modern assistive technologies. So meet the brains behind Braille Brains. We are a team of 6 members from 5 different countries around the world. But the most important thing here is, what can we do to unleash the power of these deafblind superhumans? To let us know, let's welcome Rizanga.
Thank you, Sanjana. So what we are creating is a portable AI-aided device which is paired with an app and that can translate different kinds of inputs into Braille and vice versa. For an example, deafblind persons can take a picture of what is in front of them, and our software will detect and translate them into Braille. So the deafblind persons will know more about their surroundings. Another example, what if a non-physically challenged person asks a question from a deafblind person? No response. But now with our device, a deafblind person can have conversations with anybody live. With our device, they can get education in an interactive way, and also their personal privacy will increase. For an example, they can talk to a doctor alone about their personal health issues. Furthermore, the Braille literacy rate and job possibilities will increase. Our device offers live conversations, which creates the connection from the society to the deafblinds. Moreover, we added a sustainable charging technology, solar panels, so that everyone can use our device anywhere with less running cost. The refreshable Braille cells will reduce the paper usage as well. So support us to help our superhumans to unleash their full potential. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the great presentation, Team Braille Brains. I love the thumbs up, and I'm curious, I'm sure the jury is giving thumbs up, but also has in addition some questions. So please, the jury, the stage is yours. Questions up there.
Shall I go, Julia?
Go.
Or you want to go, Jill?
Yeah. No, go, Sarah, go.
Okay. Hi, guys. Amazing presentation and such an important topic, which is most probably not front and center for all of us because we can see it here, right? So because I am not aware of like how they currently learn, right? Like, how did you find out about this? You know, how people learn if they're blind and can't hear, and then we'd love to know a bit more about like how you come up with the story.
Take it. Thank you, Sarah. So there are different ways for the deafblind to communicate, just like the tactile and the sign language. And also, there's a way to communicate Braille. But if you think, can you read a book by tactile language? No, but the Braille language is the best way. So that's why we put Braille in our device. And also, we had some conversations with experts in this area. So they said that it is way more easier for the deafblind people to learn Braille language. That means the average person can learn within 1 month to 6 months about Braille. Thank you.
I have a curiosity on the cost and on the pricing of the things that you just share with us.
Yeah, I'm Jean Patrick, and I'm working in the field of visibility, and I will answer this question. So in the last 40 years, the price has decreased from about $50,000 to $600 in 2020. So we can see a huge price reduction in the last years, and we are optimistic that it will go on reducing in the upcoming years. So it might be affordable for everyone. So if you might wonder if $600 are even though too much to spend for a guy who is living in a developing country, we thought about this, and we want to orientate on the business model of Tom's Shoes, which is a one-for-one business model. That means if a person buys our device in a country where the buying power is higher, we will decrease the cost of one device in a country with lower buying power, so that would make it affordable for everyone.
Okay. Did you answer the question, or is there anything to add to the question? If not, okay, I think you're fine. I'm gonna say goodbye. Thank you, Team Brave Brains, for the great presentation. We're gonna see you back in a sec because we're ready. We reached the last pitch. Wow, how time has been running. So thanks, Team Braille Brains, great presentation. And I would like to welcome Team Mind Jams. The next crew is joining us from the United Arab Emirates and India. And Mind Jams will give us an insight in the crossroad between machine learning and green gaming. And they will show us how a fun video game that can create a better wellness. How and why, they're gonna tell us now. Please, the stage is yours. Ready?
Today is Annie's 19th birthday. I miss her so much.
I wish I knew that the goodnight text she sent me on the night before our final exam would be the last time I would hear from her.
Annie was the life of the party and the most helpful person I knew. I can't believe she suicided.
If only we knew, we would have helped her.
According to Harvard Medical School, 1 in every 5 students has contemplated suicide at least once, and this is alarming. On an average, a student spends 8 hours a day in school, which is nearly 2,000 hours a year. And in spite of this, schools are missing out on the mental wellness of their students. Over the last 2 years, Team Mind Champs has been on a mission to destigmatize mental health. And through our experience, we realized that a lot of students struggle with mental wellness. So we came up with a solution, Veniverse, transforming schools into universes of wellness.
So how does Veniverse work? Students play a video game in their classroom for 15 minutes and their responses get recorded. Step 2, the machine learning algorithm generates a mental wellness report at the end of the game. This report will contain the status of your mental health as well as tips to improve it. Step 3, the report is shared with parents and teachers so that they would never have to say, if only we knew.
Veniverse has the power to impact 1.5 billion students across the globe. And our USP is the credible information we source from WHO-attested databases, an expert panel of psychologists, a unique machine learning algorithm, as well as data privacy. Of the current student population, only 16% of them get access to mental health services. But with Veniverse, We hope to elevate this up to 50% in the next 5 years.
Here's how we envision our journey ahead. By December 2021, we hope to have our ideation phase completed. March 2022 will see us partner with gaming companies for prototypes and start fundraising to get the ball rolling. We aim to release our beta version by July 2022, and by December 2022, we will shake up the market by officially launching Vuniverse. You can join us on our journey by offering technical and financial support to help bring Vuniverse to life.
Mental health has always been a silent sea, but we are on a mission to make ripples in it. We are in this together so that you don't have to do it alone. With Vuniverse, your wellness is just a game away. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the presentation and your acting skills. I love them. Please, jury, what are the questions? Please, the stage is yours.
Hi everyone, this is Sarah. Great presentation, well done. And such an important topic because I guess everybody experienced it in their life, especially because of COVID and all the things. So I really love that you're using gaming and this technology in the classroom because everyone is on their phone all the time. However, I was wondering, you said their like wellness and mental health report, I think that's how you called it, will be shared with the teachers and the school, right? So I was wondering if there is a way that the student can have that anonymous, right? Because maybe sometimes they don't want to share that necessarily with like parents and teachers because of whatever reason.
That's a wonderful question, and I believe that's a very important concept that we're addressing, especially because a lot of students find it very hard to open up to the adults in their life. So essentially, what we due to a lot of I would say legal reasons, we would be in a position in a position to have to share the reports with parents and teachers in general. But yes, we will be assigning individuals to we'll be assigning representatives of our team who will be analyzing the reports in general. So when our team is going to analyze reports, it's going to be anonymous, of course. So if we figure out that a certain student has been receiving poor wellness reports over a range of time, and there's no real action being taken on that, or there's no real impact of, we're sharing it with parents and teachers, but it's not really benefiting them, then we are going to take that to psychologists. We're going to channel that to psychologists and to experts who can directly communicate with students and help them out with that or with their mental health challenges.
Is there another question? Or are all the questions answered? That's also okay. Okay, I can. Sarah, Pascal, Dennis, Julia. It seems like you answered all the questions during the presentation. So you can also lean back now and relax because you did a great job and your pitch is done, and you also answered the questions from the jury. And wow, all pitches are done. Big round of applause for all the Moonshot pirates who did an amazing job. You could see the jury, they had questions. They were amazed. You saw their eyes and their faces during the presentations, hopefully, because I saw them and they were quite amazed. So I'm really proud of all of you, and I am curious because it's going to be a really difficult decision for the jury right now. And we're actually going to send the jury into an extra
All right. Hi, everyone. It seems that Stephanie has a little bit of technical issues, but that's all right. What's going to happen next? Right now, jury is moving into a breakout room to discuss, your pitches, your presentations. And while they are doing that, we are going to have a little conversation with our co-founder Simon Rutter and with our community manager Nora Hartel. But before we do, we would like to ask audience a question. First of all, Simon, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Great, amazing. So the question that we would like to ask the audience, just give me a second. Simon, could you please just take over this? I need to just check with Stephanie.
I'm very happy to do that, and hopefully we can get Stephanie back. So right now, while you're preparing this, I think, or actually I'm happy that I'm not part of the jury, because this is a really difficult task to make this decision. I loved all the presentations. What the jury is going to do is they will evaluate the projects on the criteria of impact, wow effect, put a smile on the customer's face, and feasibility. And this would take another, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm Simon. I'm one of the founders of the Moonshot Pirates. And together with Nora, we will have a short conversation. Why, Annette, you're still preparing it. You can do it in the background, or do you want to ask the question aloud? Okay, so
Stephanie is back on the call, and the question is already out there. She's just connecting her microphone and her camera, but we are pretty sure she's going to be back with us in a second. I can ask the question. So what we would like to ask the audience is to go to www.mentimeter.com and type in that code that you can see on the top, 11339124.
Yes, thank you, Annette.
Welcome back, Steffi.
Awesome. So Annette has already showed you the process of the Mentimeter. Oh, wow. And I can see a lot of things coming in. Is there anything else to say about the Mentimeter, Annette, or did you say everything about the Mentimeter?
Just the question. So we just want to know, what was your wow moment today from all the presentation that you have seen, from the keynote that you have heard from Pascal? Just let us know what you liked the most.
And having you already on stage now, Annette, what was your wow moment?
Oh, wow. My wow moment, since I was kind of taking care of all these technical things, was actually, it kind of went too smooth in my opinion today. So for me, that was definitely one of the wow moments today. But in general, I think all of the participants today, we have seen their progress from the very beginning till the very end of the final pitches. We had, out of 65 teams that finally submitted, 7 teams presenting here, and every one of those teams, they just simply rocked the stage. I can't really, it's so difficult for me to pick the one that I like the most.
Yeah, you don't, the good thing is you don't need to pick, the jury is doing that right now. But thanks, Annette, for sharing your wow moment, because I totally agree. The pitches were mind-blowing and in the background. So thanks, Annette, for your great work. And if I look at the Mentimeter right now, a lot of things are popping up. So yeah, keynote from Pascal, true story. That was like mind-blowing. And I really also liked his personal advice after, I must admit. And then quality of pitches, Annette already mentioned that. What else? Firefly pitch. Oh, wow, you have a lot of fans out there. That's quite on fire, your word. What else? Luminous team. Oh, I can see a lot of like different names of the teams. Oh, someone was nervous. I totally can understand that. That's totally normal. But the good thing is, being nervous is also something you can use in a great way during a presentation, because it gives you a lot of fire. Creativity. Okay, I'm going to just let you type. Go on, typing, we're really curious to know what was your wow moment. And in the meantime, I would like to welcome Simon and Nora. And Simon is one of the co-founders actually of Moonshot Pirates. Wait, who didn't know Annette? Annette is also like one of the key people of Moonshot Pirates, also one of the co-founders. So Simon, please join me. You're already here. And Nora, she's the community growth navigator. And I'm super curious right now, Simon, what was your wow moment?
I have been, you know, that around 65 projects were developed through the challenge. So I have looked through all of them. I have worked through some of them, and the ones that we have seen tonight are only a small selection of what has been created. So it was really hard for me to say what my wow moment was. But you triggered something by saying being nervous is fine, because around 15 years ago, I was also pitching at a huge conference, and I had a blackout on stage. You know, you are on stage and then you just cannot say anything. And this moment, you just don't know what to do. At one moment, you just leave the stage. And so every time we have these programs, and when those amazing ideas are presented, I'm shaking. I'm still reliving it.
I can totally like, and so what happened then? So you were shaking, and it kind of, you can relate to like the nervousness right now.
Yes, and probably I'm more nervous than the pirates presenting. But to finish that story, and I think this is also something that I would like to share with the pirates. So I left the stage without saying a word. People were a little bit confused, but you know, then the event goes on, and I didn't know what to do. This was on a big conference somewhere in the Alps, and I figured out there's a speakers competition the next day, and I thought, the only possibility to get out of this is to actually sign up to that speakers contest and just participate the next day. And guess what? I made the second place. So just get up, try it again.
Yes. That's, I think, Simon, you did a great motivational speech right now, and I can only add to it. What I will tell myself is, when your heart beats like crazy, imagine your heart is applauding for the courageous act you're gonna which is gonna follow, and you're doing right now. So this is like, your heart is on your team. So this is what I imagine when my heart is beating like crazy and I'm nervous. And actually the judges are bad. So I have one last question, Simon. Can you give us a quick insight into what's next with Moonshot Pirates? Is there a way, how can one support Moonshot Pirates in 2-3 sentences? Because it looks like we have already a winner.
Maybe Nora, you want to try to answer this question?
Oh, Nora, yeah. Where is Nora? Can I see her? Nora, please join us.
Well, I can just say that just a short review of the Pirate Challenge. I mean, that's obviously a wrap up today, but we have so many other things that we have planned in the future. We have different programs through Moonshot Pirates. We have the Global Peer Mentorship, which is set to kick off in September, in the middle of September, so September 15th, and the deadline for that will be August 31st. We have a bunch of boot camps coming up. We know that you guys really want the rocket launcher, so we will look into what we can do there, if we can figure that out for this year. We have other challenges that will be coming up. Yeah, all I can say is just stay tuned, pirates.
Wow, thank you, Nora. There's a lot to come, it sounds. Before I head to the judges in a second, because there's a decision made. Can I please have the Mentimeter back? And in the meantime, Nora, what was your wow moment? Give us a quick one sentence, please.
I had 7 wow moments today. For me, the most incredible thing was to see people coming together from all over the world and, yeah, basically tackling a problem together. And yeah, that was just insane and great to see. So congrats to all of you guys. Yeah.
Wow. I'm not sure if we can like get the Mentimeter back to show like also the judges what kind of wow moments all the others had here. And to summarize what Nora said, like if you want to support the Moonshot Pirates, become a patron. That's what I understood from what you said. And there are a lot of programs following this amazing challenge we had here already. So please, for everyone who wants to join, do stuff. The Pirates, oh wow, Moonshot Pirates have a lot to offer. And oh wow, this Mentimeter has also a lot to offer. So for the judges who have not been with us, the question was, what was your wow moment today? So to the judges, you can ask yourself this question. We've seen there were a lot of wow moments, and it looks like you had a wow moment because you had a quick decision. It seems like there was, you found a winner amongst all the great pitches in a short time, and we're gonna announce it in a second. But before we do that, I would like to mention the partners, because as you can imagine, it's all about teamwork. You've experienced it in your teams. Alone, it's really hard to create not only a moonshot, but also put it into action. So one of the most important partners for the Moonshot Pirates are Talent Garden. It's the main partner, and Talent Garden is now the leading European co-working network and educational institute for the digital and tech community. And believe it or not, they have 18 campuses in 8 countries, and they host 4,500 innovators inside a network of campuses. So it's a crazy network, and we have Julia with us. She's gonna speak with me in a second because I'm curious to learn more about the Talent Garden Innovation School. But before we're gonna head there, a big thank you also to the Austrian Chamber of Commerce, the Silicon Valley Inspiration Tours, that's Niki Skene. They provided multiple workshops, mentoring session, and they're hosting the winner trip to Silicon Valley. And last but not least, the Austrian Promotional Bank. They helped to grow Moonshot Pirates to create impact with their innovative approach. This said, these are the partners. Julia, can I have you on stage for a second? Because you are proud. We heard that the Talent Garden is one of the main partners, and that means you are an important partner also for the Moonshot Pirates.
I'm here.
Hi.
Hi.
So we have heard already you are an expert in innovation. How did you like the pitches and the ideas? Like, what was your impression?
Actually, I was thinking about your question about the wow moment. I think that I pointed out some word in my piece of paper because I love innovation, but at the same time I love paper. And I have 3 words, like passion, care, and competences. What impressed me the most was that in each idea, you could really tell that people were passionate about that topic. And so I will say that every pitch has the wow moment, because if you have the passion to do things and you care about half the way. So that's my first reflection of a wow moment during these speeches.
Oh, wow. And thanks for also connecting it to the wow moment, because it looks like we all had a lot of wow moments, and thanks for like showing us the connection to your wow moment. And can you please tell us a little bit more about the Talent Garden Innovation School? What do you do?
Yep. What we are trying to do is try to support people, so young talent or professional, to find their way to the digital innovation world. So we educate them on the digital skills together with the soft skills that, as Pascal was mentioning before, like curiosity is one of the main and most important skills that we need to have. So we support them to grow up and to actually own their future in the digital ecosystem.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's a great vision and mission and an important role. And so, and what is the reason? Why are you collaborating with Moonshot Pirates? Why are you partnering with Moonshot Pirates? And why do you believe it's important to support initiatives like this?
I think it's important because we can support an initiative that can give to young people a great opportunity. And by the result that we saw today, I can really tell that the quality is really high in general. Now, I've been seeing a lot of pitches during these years, and I can really tell that the opportunity that this program give to youngest are so important, because from my point of view, they're not our future, they're our present. So it's really important to give them and to equip them with all the information that they need to have to lead this world in a better place.
Did you hear that out there, Moonshot Pirates? You are not the future, you're the present. And if anyone else tries to tell you, come later, you got to start later, not now, don't believe them. You are the present. So thanks, Julia, for giving us this insight. Thanks for being amongst us, and thanks for being a great partner to the Moonshot Pirates. And also thanks at this point to the great jury. They have been a great support, not beyond being the jury today. And also, I didn't mention before, we had great mentors in the whole process before. And I think we really need to mention the supporters. We had great mentor sessions, and they were part of the whole process before the pitches here. So thank you to all the mentors and supporters out there. This would not be happening in this way without you. And this said, are there any other words of wisdom by the jury? So we had Pascal sharing some wisdom. Julia, thanks for sharing your wisdom now. Is there anyone else? Dennis, Sarah, or maybe Pascal and Julia again. Is there anything else you want to share before we're going to announce the winners?
Yes, hi, this is Sarah. I'll take it in behalf of the entire jury in 30 seconds or less to keep the time, right? I think our wisdom from especially the jury is that you guys already use the power of what we have right now. I guess this is most probably the most challenging time. You are global teams, right? You never met each other in person, right? You just did it online, and you came up with incredible ideas who can actually change the world. So anyone who doubts that this digital world doesn't work, I mean, you are the proof of concept that it actually works. So we are incredibly proud of you. I mean, we were blown away by all of your presentations. We were typing our points, and I mean, you did all the work, right? We just came in now and we watched the incredible results, and we're so excited for Julia to announce the winner very shortly. But we believe in every single idea, and also we're just happy for you, and you did a very good job. That's from us. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, what words of wisdom out there. And thanks for speaking for the whole judging team. Yeah, we're nearly there. And actually, because we're talking about giving thanks and gratitude and the credits, Moonshot Pirates team, the community team behind in this team, they did an amazing job. So a big thank you also to Moonshot Pirates for making this big party happen, for like creating the space for all these moonshots and the opportunities. This community team who worked hard. This said, I'm gonna ask Julia back with me, because you're gonna announce it in a second. And how is it gonna happen? Because the winner is gonna go to Silicon Valley for a week. And I don't know, for the ones who have not heard it, what are you gonna do? You're gonna visit the Stanford University. You're gonna go to Singularity University. Maybe you're gonna meet Pascal there, who knows? He's really involved, or has been really involved. You're gonna attend workshops on exponential technologies, pitching, etc., and a lot of fun. I've mentioned it before, and I'm sure you're gonna have a great, great time. But the question is, who is gonna go to Silicon Valley? And we're gonna do it following. Julia is gonna announce it in a second, and I'm gonna do like the drum roll. I would actually like to ask every one of the participants to join me. You're gonna be on mute, so I want to see your hands. You're gonna just hear my drum roll. I want to see all the hands, and we're gonna do a countdown until Julia is gonna announce it. I don't see all the hands. Where are the drum rolls? Drum rolls, drum rolls. Okay, Diona, Suza, Willem. I want to see the drum rolls. Raheb, yes. Soliana, I can hear. Oh yeah, drum rolls from India, from Pakistan, from the US. Okay, drum rolls. So in a second, we're gonna know who are the Be a Pirate winners of this year and who is gonna go to Silicon Valley. I'm so excited to know in a second, and we're really proud of every one of you. But the winners are
Project Firefly!
Project Firefly! Congratulations, Project Firefly. Are there some words you want to share? The winners, where are the winners? So it's Soliana, Valkyrie, Jessie, where are you? Is there one word you want to add to your win? Congratulations.
Hi. We just want to say thank you so much. We are so blown away right now. But this challenge has been really amazing. Thank you to everyone who's been involved and like all of the help and support we've gotten. Yeah, this has just been really incredible. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Like we've been so passionate about this project, and it's mind-blowing how much everyone has just helped us out, and like we've learned so much along the way, and we're just so excited. So thank you so much.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just so speechless right now. This is just has been such a huge opportunity. And it's been so great working on this project and having help from mentors. And we're so excited to work on this in the future. Thank you so much, you guys.
Wow. Congratulations again, Project Firefly. I can see not only your smiles, but also the passion to continue. And I would not only encourage Team Firefly, the crew of Firefly, to continue. I want to encourage everyone in this room, because you have done an amazing job. You went through this really intense process. You were in the finals of the Be a Pirate Challenge. Like there were 800 of young Moonshot pirates participating, and you were in the 7 final teams. So congratulations again to everyone, because true Moonshot pirates, you've heard it, you are not the future, you're the present. You're doing epic shit. So that's amazing. And it's not only about winning, it's about being a pirate, doing stuff, getting stuff done, and working on the future now. And yes, congratulations still again to the winning team, Firefly. I hope you're gonna have time to celebrate, and to all the other teams, I hope you're gonna also have time to celebrate, because you are amazing. Thanks again to the jury. Thanks again to the Moonshot Pirates team. And there are going to be challenges in future. I hope to see you all soon. Have a great day and celebrate, because you are epic Moonshot Pirates. And don't lose your fire. Bye-bye. It was great having you. And it was great celebrating also this challenge with you.